I'm Amanda Concilio, and this is an assignment for assessment and eligibility in moderate to severe special education class with Dr. Bridget Jackson as the instructor. We're here today to work on a IEP/ESER. This would be the initial assessments to hopefully have Jean in special education classes or class here at Whitehorse Elementary. Upon starting, we would ensure that the parents have received procedural safeguards, and in the meeting we'd follow up again, making sure that they want another copy, that they've received it, so we have that basis covered. We'd also, prior to the meeting, we'd email the parents for their concerns for Jean and what they would like to see her be able to achieve or work on. Then we'd start with kind of what her strong points are within the class. And so we'd start out with the IEP stating that Jean is a 7-year-old, 9-month first grade student here at Whitehorse Elementary. This is her first time attending public school. And prior to attending Whitehorse Elementary, she received outside services through early child services in speech and language, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and those three. Parents have mentioned that Jean was delayed in her typical development, which included crawling, walking, talking, and toileting. She does have a history of ear infections and does wear glasses. Parents also show that she is not very verbal, and parents also note that Jean shows difficulty in answering questions about everyday activities. We see here at school that Jean needs physical prompts and cues to follow the classroom routine. She shows difficulty understanding general conversation with staff. That was also noted with the parents. She is currently below grade level in reading, writing, and math. And in Jean's free time in the classroom, she selects from a field of 3 things to do in class. To go over her scores in the assessment of nonverbal intelligence test, I'm glad that the school psychologist had picked this because it's a well-known assessment that's given to see for nonverbal students to see where they fall in the IQ scale. And so Jean's results came back as 70, which shows that she's delayed against her counterparts that are the same age as her. The next assessment that was given was the Woodcock-Johnson test, and that's given over reading, math, and writing. And Jean assessment came back that she's very low in all 3 areas. The next test assessment that was given, let's see if we can, there we go. The next one was adaptive behavior assessment, which tests over daily living skills, stuff that you would do every day. So communication, socialization, daily living skills, these things that just overall how she is and functions in everyday life. And so speech and socialization, she scored extremely low. And as noted when we gave a synopsis of Jean, that she is borderline with the other tests here. So then we go on to the wide range assessment of visual motor, which is fine motor and visual drawing and matching shapes. The mean is 100, standard deviation is 15. For special ed services, you need to be 2 standard deviations below, which would make that 70. And all 3 of her scores came back lower than 70, so that meaning that she would be able to, she qualifies for special education services. The last test that was done was the CASEL test is what it goes by, but it's a comprehensive assessment of spoken language. And again, this mean is 100, standard deviation is 30, and her skills were all very lower than, and her total composite score was 63. Couple of the things that I would think that we should probably look into is that she received outside services for PT, and there was no testing on that, and that was probably something that we should assess for. So the goals that I have come up with for the IEP, and I'd be open to asking the parents what they think of the goals, that because we're a team and we work together on coming up what the best goal would be for Jean. So I've written by October 2025, Jean will follow classroom routines using a visual schedule with no more than 2 prompts and 4 out of 5 opportunities. And this would help in the transition between, coming to school and having routines that she's gonna have to do each day. The second goal is Jean will follow a 2-step direction when given verbal and visual cues with 80% accuracy in 4 out of 5 opportunities. And then the third goal would be by October 2025, Jean will recognize numbers 1 through 20 and be able to put manipulatives in one-to-one correspondence with the number in 4 out of 5 opportunities. For progress monitoring, we'd use classroom data and observation for assessing if we've made progress with where Jean is at. We'd also do observation, lead-in questions to ask and assess at the beginning to make sure that she understands or see what she knows, so we don't have to go over it again and then progress on after that. And that concludes